Hello my friends, I am Moonday Faery and today we are gonna check what is awaiting you in the month of February. This is the first video of the series I'm gonna make, and this is the pick a card video, one of these ones. So I will explain how does it work and then we can get into the readings. So here we've got 6 groups of cards: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 and number 6. You basically intuitively pick one group of card. If you want to pause the video and you want to meditate on that, or you want to, I don't know, think more deeply about, I don't know, about the choice you want to make, that's fine, you can do it, and then you can press the play button again. And yeah, and then we can get to the reading, and then you can basically see what is awaiting you in this month and what is the situation, how is the situation gonna be in the month of February. So if you are ready, then let's just start. So the group number 1 I am going to read now, and we shall see what is awaiting you in the month of February 2019. Okay, if you have decided to choose the group number 1, this is my message for you. What I can see is that in the month of February you're going to decide to stay away from some things. Maybe you're going to decide to choose a bit more introverted style of life, when you can think, when you can focus, when you can learn some new things. This is something unknown at the moment. This is something that the cards don't say what is that going to be at the very moment, but this is the energy surrounding you. So you are gonna be maybe more staying at home. You're gonna be maybe more like thinking, maybe reading some books, especially on things like philosophy maybe, or religion related. Well, maybe not really religion, but like philosophy. And because this is what I can see at the moment. You're definitely not going to be interested in any going out. You're not going to be interested in, like, spending time with other people, or like maybe going out to get some nice food to the restaurants, or like drinking. This is not going to be you this month. This is going to be completely not you. However, what else I can see, you are also gonna try to move somewhere else. You're gonna be you want to transform your life, and which is maybe because you have been actually partying too much. Maybe you have been living this life, when you have maybe eating a bit too much or drinking a bit too much, and this is what you want to do. You want to change that. You want to transform your life. You want this cycle of partying to end, so you can move towards something better. However, you need to be careful with that. Don't go too deep into that, especially if you are more of the sensitive person. I'm gonna describe it like that. If you're a very delicate person, if you're a sensitive person, if you are very calm person, very emotional, like in nature person, make sure you don't overdo anything, or you don't maybe transform everything to like go cold turkey on some things, because that might not end up good. However, I can see like this transformation, this change in your life you want to go through is a major shift. It's gonna completely change your life. It's gonna completely change, it's gonna completely destroy the foundations that you have been basing your life on. So that's something very interesting. But like I said, you need to be careful with that. Don't overdo it. Don't try to rush and change things all of a sudden, because it might not end up good for you. So this is it for the group number 1. Let's move to the group number 2. I don't know if you can see, but I am not doing reversals at the moment, because I've decided not to do some reversals. If the cards is has got some negative messages, it's gonna show up anyway, so that's just something I just wanted to add. Okay, so for the group number 2 in the month of February, I can see that in the month of February you are going to be looking for something. You're going to be trying to find something, and it is most probably job related. So I can see something going on, some ideas going on. I can see some fiery things going on, like maybe it's a passion for you, but this is definitely something interesting, because we've got a new beginnings over here. So you are looking for something, or maybe you have been looking for something, and that is something completely new. You might be looking for a new job, or maybe you start pursuing a new passion in your life. The cards don't really say what that is. It's you have probably decided to go for something completely different that you would normally go for, which is very interesting. However, you might be feeling a little bit defeated at the moment. You might be feeling like something didn't really go well in your life. Something has really literally pinned you down to the ground. So you need to basically make sure you get up. If I can see something is really bothering you now, something is really weighing on you, something, you feel defeated, you feel like, you know, someone has literally stabbed you in the back. It could be your ideas not really working the way you wanted them to work, or it could be something according to your intelligence. Like it could be something, maybe it's your studying that really didn't go well, that it's not going very well, and it's not going to go well. This is how you feel, that you're not really going to the right direction. So for you, what you need to do is to change your way of thinking. You need to find a new perspective in your life. You need to stop, because things are not gonna move anywhere. No matter what you do, things are not gonna go anywhere. So the best thing to do at the moment is to stop and think, stop and try to find out some new solutions. What I can see is that maybe your family is going to help you with that, and that your family, most probably the older person in your family, has got some good tips for you, some good answers for you, that they can share with you, because they have these experience in life, so they can help you with that. What else I can see is that you don't really want to face the fact that you might be feeling defeated, that you think that these new ideas in your life are basically gonna move you away from feeling like this, that starting something new, maybe instead of finishing the things you are supposed to finish, is a better idea. Than to basically face the fact that you might fail, let's say, in something, and it would be the best thing to to try something new, because you don't want to face the fact that there has been a defeat. So you kind of seem like a kind of person who is starting billion things at one time and never really get to finish them. So in that case, the cards are basically saying, you know, what you should do is, okay, you've got this new idea, you've got this new start, it's going to be amazing. However, admit that you failed at something. It's fine to fail, you know. Once you are in this really bad dark pit of sadness and despair, it's okay. The only way is up from that. You have honestly reached the bottom, so from now on it's going to be only better. But to do that, you need to remember that you need to stop a little bit. Don't rush into things. Rethink your whole situation and maybe consult it with someone who is older than you and knows things better based on their experience. So this for the group number 2. Let me move on to the group number 3 now. Okay, that's very interesting. So if you have decided to choose the group number 3, this is your reading for the month of February. So I can see you are a person who wants to get things done. You want to get things done quickly. You want to balance out some ideas. You know, you always try to look for the things that are somewhere in the middle, in between. Very often you feel like there are two different ideas going on in your head, or there are two different paths in life. They're basically in your head. One is completely opposite of the other, and you're trying so hard to basically balance this out. And I can see you are this person who gets things done no matter what. You're very often, however, choosing the way that is just in the middle, in between of these two contrary ideas. I can see that in this month, however, you might be facing some problems with the sleep. You might be, maybe it's something related to your studies. If you're a student, if you're going to school studying, or you are doing kind of job that is related to studying, to your intelligence, that you might be feeling some kind of fear that might cause you to have some sleepless nights. The fear, however, could be completely unrelated. That's the thing. You don't really want to. You feel like this fear is real, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Like, there is a way out of that situation, and to do that, you need to search for something. You need to search for some maybe new ideas, some ideas basically related to to the concept of harvesting. I know it's going to sound really weird because not all of us are farmers, but it's a concept of harvesting. So you need to think about what are you going to grow so you can sow it later on. You are going to go on a search for that. So not only you're going to be searching for that, but you're also going to start doing that, start focusing on that even more and more, and it is gonna happen, and there will be some results. However, you might be still open to some other ideas. You might not be really taking that ideas that you had over here into the workings, because you might be so focused on other things that are happening, on maybe some other, like maybe there's a new path going to be open for you, that you might be thinking, oh yeah, if I go into that direction, maybe that would be the best thing to do. What else I can see is that you are so feared of the things that you think you don't have control over. You do have control over these things, but that's what you think. You are getting scared that maybe you don't have control over these things, or maybe you are too controlling, and if something didn't really go in the way you were thinking it's gonna go, you get a panic attack. You get scared, you get sleepless nights, you get nightmares because of that, because you think, oh my gosh, I cannot control that little thing. And your life is very much about controlling things too much, probably. The other thing is that you need to remember that in order to get some things done, like I was saying before, you need to make sure you are looking for them, you are gathering more information, you are learning about them, you are searching, asking people for that, because only thanks to that you can start doing things that's going to help you. And it looks like also that you don't really want to look at the things, you don't really want to think about some new perspectives in your life, but that could be a good thing to completely change, like, and shift the way you're thinking into something different, because that's going to give you a new perspective in life, and it could also give you some help in what to do next. So that's for the group number 3. Let me move on to the group number 4. Okay, so in the month of February, you might be getting some information that are not very not only expected, but also not very positive. The informations you're gonna get are gonna really hurt you. They're gonna hurt you on a very mental level. However, the truth is always better than a lie, so you need to remember about that. Yes, it's gonna hurt. Yes, it's gonna really be damaging for you and your emotional stability, but it's always better to know. Remember that it's always better to know. I can also see some choice going on, and there is 2 options for you. There is one way to do something one way, and there is another way to do something the other way. So you need to focus on choosing very wisely. What else I can see is that you are in a moment of spending some money. You are spending the money, but you are spending them wisely. From what I can see, you are even helping other people. You are going to help other people. You are financially good, financially secure, so you know that to help other people is the right thing to do. There is also another thing going on, and I can see that you are not very what is the word? that, oh, that you're not very balanced in your life at the moment. However, even though you might be feeling like you're mentally, like you are materially stable and everything, that there is a big thing going on in your life at the moment, that you're not really feeling so balanced. It could be it could be like thinking about, you know, how to balance your life with your work. Maybe you're spending a bit too much time at work. I will come back to that. So there is also another thing, and I can see it's a time for you to focus on your inner being. So for this month, the best thing would to do for yourself would be to maybe start reading the book you always wanted to read. Maybe it's the time to do something for yourself. Maybe it's the time for your ideas to finally put them out. And maybe it's the time for you to start doing the things you always wanted to do, learn something you always wanted to learn. The next 28 days would be pretty much good for you from what I can see, but you need to make sure you're balancing a lot of things. So this is another card about balancing. I will come back to that in a moment. What else I can see for you is that very often the choices we have to make are very difficult, especially this choice you're about to face it's a very difficult choice. It could be a heartbreaking choice. It's most likely about your love life. Maybe you have realized that the relationship you are in is pretty much over, that you don't want to continue that because it's either you that don't feel anything for that person anymore, or you realize that they don't feel anything anymore for you. So you have to make a choice whether you want to stay in that and have your heart broken in the end, or you want to leave and break the heart. But you need to make sure you are doing that in a good way. You don't want to make this choice in a conflict with yourself. You want to make it in a very good way. You want to make it in a positive way. You want to make it in a way that it's gonna be balanced, achieved in your life. I have 3 cards that are kind of, they could be talking about balance in your life. So this month is very important when it comes to balancing things out for you. You don't really want to face the thing that your life might be out of balance. I can see that. You might be stubborn, you might be thinking, no, it's fine, I know what I'm doing. But on the back of your head, you know that you are trying so hard to balance out your work life with your inner life, because your inner life is asking you for this balance. Your inner life is asking you to give it some time to make sure you are balancing things right, that you are somewhere in between, that you can't spend too much time at work and you can't spend too much time alone, but you need to make sure your inner life, your private life, your hobbies, your learning, your studies are equally as important as your work life, as giving time to others, as giving your attention to others. You have to also give the attention to yourself. So this is it about the group number 4, and now I'm going to move to the group number 5. Okay, so if you have decided to choose the group number 5 for this month of February, this is what I am seeing. You are gonna be learning something that it might help you in the future. It might be something that's going to definitely help you when it comes to job related things. You are going to be learning maybe something about business and finances, because this is what these cards are showing me. You are most probably going to be looking towards that. I can see your brain being so much in action. What else is that you are really going to rush for that. This card is always about like rushing into things, but make sure you think before you do some things. I can see that this month is also trying to give you some hope. There is this solid energy, there is this good positive energy. The Sun is one of the best cards in the whole tarot. I think it is even the best card in the whole tarot. So there is definitely something positive going on. I can see you're also kind of feeling fed up with things. You're feeling fed up. There is too many. There could be too many options. You know, there is already like some things you need to face, and there is like more things coming on top of that, and you don't really want to do that. But honestly, don't take any kind of shortcuts to get the things done, because this is not the way. So coming back to this, you need to remember one thing. When you are the pentacles are very they're earth related, so they're very grounding, they're very slow, they're very steady, they're very steady suit in the tarot cards. And then we have the swords, which are about the air, which are about like movement, about moving things fast. And I can basically see that you are kind of facing this movement, you are facing this thing, but this is not good for you. This is not what you want. This is not what you should do. You should stay and learn things, even if it's slowly. You better learn it slowly than rush into the action without thinking. That would be the best thing to do. You want to kind of rush into the things like without thinking, very fast and very quick, because you see that the outcome is gonna is might be for you like a very you don't want to really go into that, because if you do that, the outcome is not going to be very favorable for you. It's the best if you do it slowly and steady. This is only when the outcome of your learning, the outcome of your actions is going to be good. If you decide to take things slow instead of rushing into things, instead of just jumping into that situation without knowing more about it. I can, like I said, I can also see that you are kind of fed up. It's not only related to your life in general, but also to this outcome. You kind of know it's gonna be good, but you don't really want to take action. I'm not talking about this kind of action though, remember please, but I'm talking about this kind of action. You know it's gonna take you some time to get there, so you kind of know it's gonna be good for you, but maybe you're being a bit lazy at the moment and you don't really want to, and you feel like you deserve it anyways, and everything should go the way you want it to go anyways, and you don't want to put any work into that, which is not the way of doing that. Because the thing you don't really want to face is that you're gonna end up very imbalanced, that you are kind of gonna be moving around, you know, like kind of running in circles, and you won't be able to get the things done. And this is what might especially happen if you decide to just rush. You're gonna be kind of like, you know what they say, one step ahead, two steps back, and this is going to be happening around and around and around, because you're going to be doing one thing and thinking about something else. You're going to be doing something, you know, you're going to try to do something really fast, but you will leave behind so many things that will not lead to your success, because you're gonna not take them into your project. You're not gonna take them serious. So you're gonna be like, yeah, I've got like, you know, 60% done of 100, so that's good enough for me. So you need to just put some work and time and learning this month. And let me move on to the last group, which is the group number 6. Okay, So this is the group number 6, especially in this month of February. And I can see in the month of February you're gonna have things basically laid in front of you. There are gonna be things like literally laid on the, like maybe not literally, but you know what I mean. They're gonna be like laid on the table for you, and it's gonna be only your decision what you want to make of them, because I can see you're the person who's got the power, you know what I mean, who's got all the possible abilities to get things done, but it's only your choice if you want to do them or not. Okay. What I can see is that in your relationship you feel completely different. You feel like you don't have the power, that you know you're kind of like stuck in between two options, or even worse, you are trying to defend yourself from something that you know you can't do, but you don't want to do it in order not to hurt yourself or to hurt others. There is also another thing going on in this month, and this is some new learning coming up. There is some development probably coming up, especially if you're a student. If you're a student, prepare yourself for some kind of a conflict. It's not like a major conflict when there is a bloodshed or whatever. It could be just a friendly competition, but prepare yourself for that, because however it is there, you are kind of, you, instead of focusing on that, you'd rather go somewhere else. So what else I can see is that you don't really want to face the fact that you are stuck in between two of the choices. You don't want to admit that. You don't want to admit the fact that maybe even though you're so caring and you are so good for your partner and you're like this knight in shining armor, doesn't matter what gender are you, you still are not really listening to their needs, and you're not really listening to them, and it's not really good, because in the end it's not gonna go well. It could lead to the breakup in your relationship. You also are looking forward to changing your life direction, like I said, especially when you're a student or you're just at the beginning of a job, of your work life. You're looking really forward to that. But in that moment, in the February, it looks like there is this conflict going on. Like I said before, there is this competition going on. It's very active competition. It's very fiery competition. This competition has got a lot of energy built up around it, and you, even though you know you can't take a part in that, you would rather go somewhere else, and this somewhere else, it is unknown at the moment. You don't really know where you're gonna go, but you would rather go somewhere else and take a different direction in your life than to actually face this conflict and then to actually take part in this competition. So this is what is going on over there. However, in general, please remember that you have everything you need to make things work, whether it's in your love life, whether it's in your work or school life. They are both, even though you might be facing a little bit of problems at the moment, you still have everything you need to get things done. You still know how to get the things done. You're a very skilled person to do that, and you have this knowledge. That's what I'm gonna say again. You know how to do that. The question is if you are gonna do that, if you are gonna play fair and get things fixed, or you are just gonna leave everything be, or maybe use some weird tricks to sort things out. So this is it. I hope you guys did like it, did enjoy it. If you did, please leave me some thumbs up because that means a lot to me. Also subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be doing more of this kind of readings. There is also my Instagram somewhere here on the screen, which is again at Moonday Faery, and also my Patreon if you would like to donate a little bit so I can get maybe new tarot decks, and maybe I will be doing that more often, and it's going to be the same, a Moonday Faery. Everything is going to be in the description box. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you're going to have an amazing February. Oh, also I am on Etsy. I've got my shop on Etsy if you want to contact me for more readings, and it's going to be the same, Moonday Faery. Once again, all the links are going to be in the description box below. So